I don't like the only way you can possibly support Israel is if you don't know the history of Palestine. Palestine was basically colonized by Britain from 1922 to 1948. It was called Mandatory Palestine or the Mandatory of Palestine or some shit like that. And then in 1948, the Brits who had colonized this fucking group of people for almost 3 decades was like, hey, you know what? We don't want to deal with this fucking shit anymore. I'll tell you what. All of the Jews from all around the world, y'all come on ahead and y'all can have it. Now, that's not exactly how it went, right? Because what really happened is a portion of Mandatory Palestine was partitioned off with the approval of leadership in Mandatory Palestine, by the way. All right. Now, against the request of rabbis, unsurprisingly, because the formation of Israel goes against the Song of Solomon and Jewish teachings, but I digress. So basically, Palestine went from being a colonial property of Britain to being the victims of an insurgency, and then under occupation for the last 60 fucking years. How could you possibly expect the people who have been locked in a cage with no way to leave, essentially, no way to get food or water outside of what Israel allows in, for 6 fucking decades? That's that's 6 generations, three or four generations, and fucking an entire lifetime. It is not unreasonable to think that there was someone who was born in the Gaza Strip, who has never been anywhere else, and has been under fucking occupation their entire life and has died in the Gaza Strip in the amount of time that Gaza has been occupied by Israel. Every day, more and more, they occupy the West Bank, which is supposed to be specifically for Palestinian people. But they kick them out. They have no rights. They take their fucking houses. And when they go to court, they don't have any legal standing because they're not a fucking citizen of any country, which is why Israel doesn't want Palestine to be a fucking state. Because if you give them statehood, then you give them legal standing. It's that fucking simple. You would have to have hit your head more than Forrest Gump to think that Israel has, number one, any right to be there, and number two, anything they've done over the last 60 years is okay or reasonable. You're on stolen land.